It's just that making people believe that these can be done. The self-confidence, the belief that I can lead a normal life is what is central to us. Next slide. So coming back to the original theme of my talk, tips to lead a normal life, I just wanted to close with a few tips here. Condition the mind to be cheerful. Get as much dialysis as you can practically can. Work, exercise, and travel. Next slide. Kidney disease, as all of you know, affects the entire body, right from the heart to the liver, to the veins, to the skin, all parts of the body. Next slide. But I believe that the most important part it affects is the mind. A lot of dialysis patients get into depression. They start having suicidal thoughts. They feel they are a burden on the family because, as we all know, dialysis is a very expensive treatment. Families' entire savings, life savings, can get wiped out in a matter of months. So patients start to believe that they are a burden on their families. All their dreams get shattered. People's children upbringing, people getting their kids married, their own education, their own life, everything gets shattered. So one thing that dialysis patients definitely need to do is to get rid of these negative thoughts. They need to develop a positive outlook, and they need to fight the disease, because the disease has this dirty habit of getting back to you every once in a way. You're done with your heart problem, suddenly the liver problem crops up. You're done with the liver problem, the nerves start acting up. So this thing has this bad habit of picking up a fight with you every now and then. It's up to you to give the fight back. It's up to you to take up cudgels and fight the disease in as strong a manner as you can. Getting optimal dialysis is something which is a little bit difficult in India because of affordability. In a lot of countries in the West, government insurance and private insurance takes care of most of the expenses, but in India, a large percentage of the population has to pay for their medical expenses out of pocket, which kind of makes it difficult to get optimal dialysis. The minimum dialysis worldwide is thrice a week, but a lot of patients in India get only twice a week. So, given the constraints that each patient has, we should all aim to get as much dialysis as possible. That, I think, is a very, very important point. I get dialysis 6 nights a week, 7 hours. That's 42 hours of dialysis every week. A lot of patients get only 8 or 12 max. Dialysis patients should at least try to work part-time. If it's a constraint, if you're not energetic enough to work full-time, start at least part-time. It gives a sense of purpose. Any individual, any human being needs to have some purpose in life. If they have something to look forward to, their sense of self-worth increases. So it is very important, I believe, that every dialysis patient should work. May not be for money. If it's a housewife, if maybe they're not used to working outside, do work at home. But it's very important to have some responsibility, something to do, something to keep busy with. Exercise. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? All of us know that exercise is good for everybody. There's no reason dialysis patients shouldn't exercise. Of course, they should get a word from their doctor about any possible, harmful effects. But by and large, for the most part, I think doctors also will not discourage dialysis patients from exercising. It gives you an opportunity to get out of the house. There's an obvious physical benefit, but more importantly, it keeps the mind fresh. And there is a feeling of normalcy that sets in. So exercise is another very important aspect. Travel. I mean, I really love to travel. It gives you a change from the normal routine that you're used to. You see new places, meet new people. Nowadays, travel need not be expensive as well. There are a lot of reasonably priced options. It gives you a chance to reboot the mind, as I say. To summarize, dialysis patients should do everything a normal person does. If you look at that box on the right, for many people, dialysis becomes their entire life. It becomes this all-pervading thing in their life. All the time, our life revolves around dialysis. What time is my next session? What time do I need to do this? What time do I need to do that? My fluid restrictions, my diet restrictions. We need to get away from that. We need to make dialysis a small part of our life, like the other parts. For example, work, family, friends, hobbies, entertainment, whatever it is. But dialysis should just remain one part of our life. As Abraham Lincoln, the former president of the United States, had once said, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. It's not important whether we live 10 years, 20 years, 1 year, 2 years, or 60 years, or 100 years. What is important is amount of time we've lived, what have we done with our life? Have we made a difference? Have we enjoyed life fully? I think that is the bottom line. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make that nice and loud, please. Thank you. Now, any questions you may have for Mr. Shah, could you please put up your hands and we'll get a mic across to you. I have a hand up straight away. Kamal, I just wanted to salute you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I was confirmed by your experience. 7 hours of dialysis for you. Do you have any lifestyle restrictions at all?
No.
Absolutely nothing?
No.
No fluid restriction?
No.
No diet restriction?
No.
Nothing?
None.
Great, thank you. Anybody else with a question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I didn't like this as a lecture, but a case study. I am from Dr. K. Center for Humanism, and our Dr. K. Natarajan was the head of Department of Laboratory in Stanley Medical College. He used to tell, long live with diabetes. If you are diabetes, you will be aware of that so that you will be conscious of what you are doing and be disciplined, because of which you live longer than you ought not have lived when you are a normal person. You are common, please.
I didn't understand actually. Can you please repeat the...
Long live with diabetes. By being disciplined in food habits and exercising in life, you will live a longer life than you ought to be living a life when you are normal.
I think effectively he's saying that you're leading a better life than a normal person.
Okay,
does.
okay.
And
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's the outlook that matters, how well you take the disease. Like a lot of people, I agree that a lot of people who have healthy kidneys, they don't realize the problems they are getting into by leading lives that are not disciplined. So since I've got this disease, I'm fully conscious of every waking moment that I need to take care of myself. A lot of people around me, a lot of friends, I posted some posts on my blog as well about how people, they don't realize the value of good health. They don't realize how lucky they are. I tell my friends all the time, that you guys are taking so much advantage of your good health that it's really pathetic. When I look at you from my side, I feel that you guys don't deserve this, because many people, they're just wasting away their lives with such bad habits. And I mean, it's not bad to drink once in a way. It's not bad to eat unhealthy once in a way. But I do that as well. But the problem is to do this consistently, to do this repeatedly, without a care. And many people, they have this sense of, I'm not going to be affected by this, that kind of attitude that this is not going to hit me. But when it actually hits you, you'll be really shocked. So I really feel that what you said is very true.
Can I make I'm one of the very senior nephrologists in the country, where we have started dialysis about 40 years ago. And we learned nephrology about 43 years ago. And we have the standing example of a person who has passed through the disease and all the problems with the disease. Now, you see, we have been trained to keep people like you active, the doctors. And the credit goes to very senior people who have lived their life for dialysis, for making a machine, and then Nobel Prizes were given to Scribner, Brescia, for making life possible for these people to live longer. For thousands of people are living longer because the AV fistula and the AV shunt. That's one side of the picture. So we also salute you. Now your mother, she has donated the kidney for you. So that's a great sacrifice which she has done. So what is your opinion? What's your opinion, madam? What is your advice to the people sitting here after donating the kidney for your son? You have given a second life to him, but later, unfortunately, that kidney failed because of the disease process. But you are a standing example of humanitarian service to the sun, as well as to anybody for that matter. We can donate to anybody, will and pressure. With love and affection, you can donate the kidney. So please give your feelings about having donated the kidney. And we are advised people, all sitting here, that anybody can donate the kidney with love and affection. So that is the motto which we practice. So we are so happy. All the nephrologists sitting here are really happy with your life presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, I've got time for one more question and 3 hands. You were a little too late with that one. I think I have to go down there.
Sir, good evening. Hats off to you. I know I am one of the few blogger supporters of you. I just wanted to know how this psychotherapy and exercises can make you a better individual. Because I see some of the trends and also in the dialysis forum now coming up regarding this opening of gymnasium inside the units and also adding a psycho recommendations that psychologists kept in the centers to upgrade the patient's motivation to a tune of normalcy.
Yeah, so exercise, of course, I think it's a great idea. There are some centers in the US, I believe, where they've started introducing exercise bikes within the dialysis centers, which is a fantastic initiative. And I believe there have been some studies that shows that it actually improves clearances on dialysis. So that's definitely a great idea. Coming to the second point on psychologists, psychosocial counseling, I believe that is something that Indians do not do, and that is something that we should definitely be doing, because as I said in my presentation, my talk, that kidney disease rather affects every part of the body, but the most important part it affects is the mind. Once you win over the mind, I believe everything else follows. So that is something that is grossly neglected in India, and I believe that we really need to take some steps to counsel patients, to counsel them and telling them that they can lead normal lives, give them tips, counsel them, get them away from depression and suicidal thoughts. I think that's a very, very important point.
Well, it's time now to hear from the donor herself.
Good evening to all of you. I am Kamal's mother, and I feel really blessed to have a son like him. And just because of his courage and his fighting spirit, it has really given us, the parents, really to look forward and look at him and continue with our lives. It was a real shock when even the transplant, which I donated the kidney, failed. So then I was really angry with God, what did you do? My last resort, we were always thinking of the last resort, oh, there's a kidney, we can donate. So, but when that failed, it was really terrible for us. But then seeing Kamal, our whole attitudes changed towards life. We are there for him. He does all his work himself. There was nothing, he doesn't look at us for anything. Actually, he's more of an inspiration to us. He helps us in all our endeavors. I was working in the bank. He used to really be a support. He never asked me to do a thing for him. He managed all his affairs. He goes to the doctors, the appointments, the tests, everything he tries to do by himself. So looking at that, we really look forward and we are living our lives very nicely, comfortably. And being a donor, I don't have anything that I missed out on a kidney. It is really a normal life which we are leading, and I am leading. I do all my work myself. I go to the gym. I'm trying to exercise, taking an example of Kamal. I do exercise and a lot of other things, and I continue to work. So, being a donor is really not a big, sacrifice or something. God has given us 2 kidneys, and with one, we are totally normal. We are not missing out on anything. So that's the lookout, and I advise people who are really undergoing this problem, their spouse or their own family members, you have nothing to lose if you donate a kidney. You have everything to gain.
Thank you, ma'am. And now I'm going to request Ms. Revati Menon, trustee, TANKER Foundation, to please come up and thank Mr. Kamal D Shah.
Dr. Shah's mother's last words, that there's nothing to lose but everything to gain. I think that says it all in a very big way for TANKER Foundation and what we always look for. The other thing I wanted to say is, Mr. Shah, you are the perfect person to have given this lecture because, this lecture is the name of our trustee, beloved trustee, Malathi Venkatesan, because she had the same spirit to live. She always, spoke so much about doing so much as far as, dialysis is concerned, helping patients, cheering them up, coming to the center and talking to every single patient. She knew everybody by name and, her spirit to live never ever spoke about dialysis. Her topic was never dialysis, So I think your lecture is the perfect one for Malathi. I'm so happy that you've been here and thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to request on stage our chief guest and our dignitaries to come. May I request Ms. Kavya, Ms. Revati Menon and Mrs. Rajalakshmi Ravi to please present mementos and posies to them as they come up on stage and felicitate them. Let me begin first of all by calling our chief guest, Principal Secretary and Managing Director, Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board, Shri Vikram Kapoor, IAS. Please now welcome Dr. Jyoti Abraham. Welcome up on stage, Doctor. Mr. Reggie Abraham, Director of our group. Mr. Pankaj Singh, Chairman, La REN. Welcome once again, sir. C, Zonal Manager, Muthoot Group. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Mr. Hari Prasad Gupta, Balaha Group of Companies. Mr. Ashok Shankaralingam, family member. And last but not least, Chairman, TANKER Foundation, Mr. Suresh Balaji. And now to introduce us. Oh, wonderful. Aruna Ashok is here to join us. Please do come up on stage. And now to introduce us to the awards and give us the TANKER update, please welcome Managing Trustee, TANKER Foundation, Mrs. Lata Kumaraswamy.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. 22 years ago, 22 years have been completed, June 1993, we formed TANKER along with Dr. Georgie Abraham and like-minded people who had all had a brush with the disease, and we had very, very small beginnings. We've grown slowly and surely over the years with the help of all our donors, supporters, staff, and today we have 4 dialysis units, 42 machines. We do 1,900 dialysis every month, helping 215 people. This is all thanks to all of you, all our enablers, and of course we have to remember the Chief Minister's comprehensive health insurance scheme. And over the years, we have done 1.75 lakhs dialysis, helping 883 patients. We've given 1.14 crores away by way of donations for medication and investigation costs to over 2,400 patients. Along the way, well, all small, I would never call them achievements because there's a long way to go, but thank you. We have a long way to go and you're going to be there to support us to, continue in what we're doing. And along the way, we did realize that along with doing dialysis for patients, we also need to do screening and awareness. And here, headed by our very own Mrs. Rajalakshmi Ravi, thank you, Raji. Along with her team, we have reached out to along with 689 programs, we've reached out to over 1.1 lakh people. Students, office goers, members of the public, they've all been given awareness programs about, unfortunately, yes, this terrible disease. We have also done, we have also screened over 15,000 people through 150. We give them early warning of the disease so that we believe that prevention is better than cure. So we are doing this on a regular basis. There have been a lot of companies that have come forward to help us with this through their CSR program. And Raji and her team are really going all out to create awareness and do screening camps as well. Over the years, again, 7 years ago, we realized that it was important to recognize research, service, and exemplary dedicated work done by so many people who actually, some of them are recognized, as Dr. Mohan said, but whatever it is, you're an inspiration. All of you are inspirations for us. So we felt that it was important to recognize these people by introducing these awards, and that is why the awards night was born over the years, and which is why we are here today. Along the way, I have to tell you that we have donated a machine to Tanzania because Dr. Georgie had visited there and found that there were no dialysis machines in the general hospital. And Dr. Georgie, his heart goes out to every patient in the world. And yes, we collected money. So thanks to him. Going to get machines and the inauguration is going to be very, very soon. Finally, I would like to say that we have taken on 2 new trustees. I'd like to welcome them today. Rajalakshmi Ravi, who has been serving TANKER selflessly for years. I request Vikram, our chief guest, Mr. Vikram Kapoor, to give her a posy. Could you please acknowledge Raji? And of course, Mr. V. Srinivasan, who has been selflessly helping us by raising big donations for TANKER through the years. Is Mr. V. Srinivasan here? He said he would be here. Our new trustee. Well, if he's not here, thank you. I'm sure he'll be late or he must be on his way. So, thank you and welcome to these 2 people into our trustees' fold. Of course, all this would not have been possible. Whatever TANKER does, whatever we do, could not be possible without our dedicated staff who work with love and compassion. Even during the floods, I don't know, I'm very proud, I'm very happy, I don't know what to say about them, that they braved the waters, the rains, and risked their lives and came to the unit to dialyze our patients. So without all these staff who just came out, I think that TANKER would be nowhere. So we would like to acknowledge them because I think that they are so dedicated and loving and caring. For them, ma'am, patients are more important than anything else. So we are very grateful to them. And of course, I have to say hats off to our chief guest today, you sir, for saving lives and seeing to it that there were no outbreaks of diseases and dealing with the calamity so beautifully. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you very much.
She just spoke about him, and now to officially introduce and felicitate our chief guest for the evening, I'm going to call upon Mrs. Lata Pandirajan, Trustee, Tanker Foundation.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce our chief guest for the evening, Shri Vikram Kapoor, IAS, Principal Secretary, Managing Director, Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board, a face well known in the city of Chennai. Mr. Kapoor is a 1988 batch officer of the Indian Administrative Service attached to the Tamil Nadu state cadre. He had his schooling in Springdale School, New Delhi, from where he passed out in 1984 and was ranked 8th in the All India Merit List. Thereafter, he graduated in Physics Honours from St. Stephen's College, Delhi, and did his post-graduation in Public Policy and Management from the IIM Bangalore and Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs, Syracuse University, New York. During his service, Mr. Kapoor has worked in various capacities, including that of District Collector, Dindukal, Executive Director, T-Board, Government of India, MD and CEO, Tamil Nadu Urban Development Fund, Member Secretary, Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority, Chairman, Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, and Principal Secretary, Industries Department, Government of Tamil Nadu. He is presently posted as Principal Secretary. He was just posted as Principal Secretary and Commissioner Corporation of Chennai, and now as Principal Secretary, Managing Director, Chennai Metropolitan Water Supply and Sewerage Board. He specializes in the area of urban affairs and infrastructure finance, and his interests include books, sports, and travel. Mr. Kapoor is married to Iba, and they have a daughter and a son. Welcome, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to come up on stage. I present to you our chief guest, Shri Vikram Kapoor, IAS.